Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Maria. So I'm just sitting here crocheting and I thought I would share a pattern and talk about a few things. So this pattern is called an Irish Lace Afghan or an Irish Lace Accent Afghan depending on the size you're doing, and it's also called a blooming Afghan. And the way it's made is, just thought I would describe it and then go through a little bit of the pattern. What you're going to do is make 7 motifs, which are just like a fancy word for granny squares, really. And you can make one, let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 2 more. And so these would be considered your first squares. If you were making the accent square, accent Afghan, you would only make 6. So this one I'm making would be the end of it, and you would use a 5.50 J hook instead of a 6.0 J hook. So one is smaller because it's narrower and you're only using 6 squares to grow your panel on. Each one of them are going to get 15 squares. So you've got your first, and this would be the right side, and this would be the wrong side. So your right side is going to pop up like this, and usually working in the round, your tail will be in the wrong side. It's kind of important because if you connect your squares wrong, you'll have the wrong side on the right side. So I try to keep all mine on the right side when I set them down. So you need 7 of these. This is in off-white Caron 1 Pound. I'll show you a connected one, and this is in Red Heart Green Super Saver. So the connection comes right here. I'll show it to you in Red Heart. The way I do projects, because I knit and crochet for charity and hospices and different things, homeless and all kinds of things, and then gifts too, is I'll start a whole bunch of things in a few different colors and keep them going, work like an assembly line. So you're going to have these little chains in between that connect, and you're going to do 7 or 6 depending on the size you want, and then connect 14 more so that you have 15. And this color is Mushroom in Red Heart. I'm not sure if they even make it anymore. I haven't been able to find this color. So I'm glad I've got the skeins I've got. I'm using a 6.0 hook here, J 6.0 hook. I like it with the 5.5 IJ hook too. This is a 5.5 hook. And this is just to get an idea. So much bigger, but when you go to do the gauge, as long as it's 4x4, which oddly it turns out to be, or 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, it's fine. So I'll show you the pattern quickly, a few of them. I got my pattern I pay $7.90. Is it $7.95 or $7.99? Something like, I think it's $7.99 a month. Irish Lace Afghan. Patterns, I should put my glasses on. That would help. Pattern number, let's see, 802ANV. Under crochet. Caron 1 Pound medium worsted weight yarn, acrylic. 5 skeins, off-white. That's what I have. A J10-6 hook for the gauge, 4 inches for 1 motif. You have your first square you do, it's only 3 rounds. And then you're basically going to, it says make 7. You're going to make 7 panels. And then your second through your 15th are really just connecting. So you'll do the first 2 rounds of your first square, and then you'll connect. in your third round. And you connect, and it's a little confusing, so I'll go over connection. And then you just finish off that round and then keep going. And then there is the edging, and you're going to do 5 rows of double crochets and half double crochets and a V-stitch on either side of your panels. So let's say this was one panel. I'm going to be using these side stitches to do 3 double crochet or 5 double crochet in whatever it calls for, or 2 or 1. And one row will be like that. And then another row might be half double crochets with single crochets like that. And it'll go on for 5 rows. And then you will connect to another panel and just go on. You'll sew it together. So the panel edging is doing just chaining and making 5 and double crochet and 2 double crochet in the corner and 3 double crochet in the last, and you're really not doing any special stitches here, just half double crochets. In your 5th row you're doing a half double crochet in each and fastening off. Then you're working the same 5 rows on the other side of this, so you're doing 5 rows and 5 rows on the side of each one of these panels, and then sewing the panels together, going through the back loop of each half double crochet. And then you can do fringe. Now, I've already made one of these, and what I'm finding is I need 6 skeins of Caron 1 Pound. There's 2 different patterns here, and the size it makes is, it could just be my tension, I don't know, but let me see. I can find, I have a bunch of papers here. Nope, don't need that, don't need that. That, nope, don't need that. Nope, don't need that. Okay. So Red Heart has a pattern, and that calls for Aran yarn, 8 balls of 7 ounce, or 4 jumbo balls of the Super Saver. I like this one better. Same darn pattern, but what's cool about it is Crochet Crowd and all that took the time to make a chart. The chart is really nice because you can really see what you need to do quickly if you like charts. Just helps you to see what they should look like and where they connect. And I just think the yarn works up nicer for me anyways. It's just your preference. I like Caron 1 Pound for many things. Yeah, you're making 6 instead of 7, and you're using a 5.5. So I mean, it's just really your choice what you want to do. So I thought I would show how to connect and how to do the second round. So the first round, well, you know what? I just rip out and show how to do a square. That makes more sense, right? Than me talking about it. If you want a complete tutorial on this, although the person that did this pattern caught a lot of flack for it, it's a free pattern. It's at Ravelry. It's at freecrochet.com. There is no original designer but Yarnspirarions. I think if you let people have done part of it. It's written rather confusing no matter where you go, which is why the chart helps. A lot of people have said, thank you for making the video to the person that made it, because they've started it but they couldn't figure out how to put it together. Once you see how easy it is to put together, it makes sense. It's just written kind of strange. Okay, so you go ahead and make your slip knot any way you like and chain up 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we go into our first chain and we slip stitch, join, chain 2. And what you have here is a little tiny circle to work into. We yarn over and we do a 2 double crochet together. So we yarn over again, we pull through 2. We yarn over, go in, we grab our yarn, we yarn over again, we pull through 2. We yarn over again, we have 3 to go through, and we can see we have our 2 stitches right there. But that 2 chain that we did there is going to make it a 3 double crochet. So there's your 3 double crochet right there. We're going to chain 3. And everybody will decide differently how much they want of a center circle. Some people don't like to close the circle and pull their tail very much so until the end. Some people pull them tight, some people like them a little open. I'm kind of thinking I wish I had not pulled mine completely so tight, but I like a more lacy look. We'll see. So you're just going to keep doing that. Yarn over, go in, pick up a loop. So now we're exactly where we were before, right? But we're going to do it one more time. Yarn over, go in, pick up a loop. So 3 times. Yarn over, go in, pick up your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 times. Now you can see you have 3 right here, but that 4th one right there, we're going to pull through 4. Whereas the first one we pulled through 3. Because that was a 2 double crochet. This is a 3 double crochet. Chain 3. Again. I have my music channel on in the background, which I pay for on cable TV in my rent. Stevie Wonder is on in the background. If you hear it, YouTube, do not shut me off. I pay for it. I pay for it. Okay. Yeah, it's called The Music Channel. It's not my music. It's called The Music Channel, or MC Music Channel. And I have it on the Solid Oldies variety because everybody I like is on Solid Oldies right now. Can't believe I got to put it on Solid Oldies to get Stevie Wonder and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and Pat Benatar and just basically all our 60s and 70s music is on Solid Oldies now. Strange. They do have a 70s channel on this. You're going to do this 7 times. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're just going to chain 3 in between. This is a kind of like a real bear for, and here's what I'm finding is the actual thickness of the yarn compared to the Super Saver Aran or just the Red Heart Super Saver. I'm finding that the Caron 1 Pound is just a little thicker. For a 4 medium worsted weight yarn, it's a little thicker. And so you got to really make sure you're even, or you're bringing your yarn to the right height, or it gets bunchy in spots, and then I just rip it out again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chain 3. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3 right into that top chain. Now, you'll find that people doing tutorials out here have changed the pattern to what they think it should read. And I agree. So some have said even though it says go into the top of the double crochet, the third chain, some people are going into the second chain. And I'll let you look at both of it so you can see. And this is what I mean. Like, this will happen if you... It will be a little loose if you don't. So, I mean, that looks good, but it looks strange to me. So I'm going to go into the top. Of the first double crochet. I really don't know how to fix that other than to go back and do it over again. Let's see. It's going to drive me cuckoo, that one yarn being cuckoo like that. I mean, you can just keep moving your, move your stitches over so you have more room. But this is what I mean. Like, you might, if you use Caron 1 pound, you might have to go back and really get particularly about it. Just have your tension be really careful. Alright, that's better. 1, 2, 3. You want a firm tension on this, or it just gets sloppy looking. Okay, so that's round 1. Now we're just going to slip stitch. Here's another area where people have changed it up. Slip stitch. I'm going to help myself slip stitch right there. In that first chain, we're going to slip stitch ourselves right over and try to get through the 2 strands if you can. So it doesn't look loosey-goosey. So we're going to slip stitch right into the center of the chain 3, which for me really looks like the second one. Okay. I'm going to chain 2. And then, depending on what tutorial you're looking at, some people have decided to make a single crochet right here around that chain space. And the pattern actually reads, go into the same stitch and make a single crochet. I find it works better to do it this way, making a single crochet into the same stitch rather than going around that, because you need that large chain there for the spaces to make sense. So then you're going to chain 5. But it will be a preference, your preference. Single crochet into the next arch, chain 5. Single crochet into the next, chain 5. Here's another area where it can get weird if you don't chain 5. If you chain 4 by accident, or 6, it will look, you'll really notice it. So 5. It's a really pretty pattern. Not too hard to do. You can just connect a few, sew a few panels together here and there. It's listed under easy, and I think the hardest part of this is really just understanding the pattern. So there have been a few brave souls that have come up onto YouTube and made a tutorial, and I will link to them. Matty Mom, Team Matty Mom has a great pattern. I think he made it like 2-3 years ago for righty and lefty on how to connect, and then the whole pattern really. And I think he caught a little bit of slack for that, so I'm not going to show the whole pattern. So you just chain 2 when you get to the end, and you're going to do a half double crochet and go right into that single crochet right there. So drop a loop. Okay, and we're here. So I just finger block as I go. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And round 2 really matters for round 3, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So now you're just going to chain 5. And we're going to go into our next arch and do 3 double crochet together like we just did in the first round. I'm going to watch my tension there. Okay. And you're going to chain 3. And in that same arch, I'm going to kind of move it over, go right back in. And make another 3 double crochet. Okay. This color is so strange. It doesn't look off white to me. It looks more like a top color. And then we're going to chain 5, I'm sorry. So we chained 5, we went into the first arch and we did a 3 double crochet together, chain 3, 3 double crochet together, chain 5, single crochet into the next arch, and chain 5. Okay. And if I don't have my yarn out, then I'm really in trouble. So I'm just going to do the same thing, 3 double crochet together. You'll say 3 DC TOG, chain 3, and 3 double crochet together again. And this is just establishing our little corners there. So you can see we've got a corner here, just like a granny square. But they're motifs, just a really fancy schmancy name for a granny square, I guess. Single crochet right here, the next one, chain 5. Okay, and we're off to another corner. 3 double crochet together. I was trying to make a video the other day and I kept turning off my computer whenever I would grab yarn because it would hit the panel. I'm going to move that up just so that doesn't happen again. Would roll away on it. Alright. This is really pretty in all kinds of colors. I've seen them made in variegated colors and speck colors and glitter colors. I kind of don't like the glitter as much, but I like it in the speckle colors. And it's really, really pretty in, I'm trying to think of the one that I like the most. Probably for an accent, I would go with like a Caron Simply Soft. Really, it's mercurized and nice. So then you're just going to, you can almost see here, you can, if you get a little confused, like I do often with anything I'm making, you see you need one more corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because it's kind of redundant. You're doing the same thing over and over again, and you could think, oh, I'm done. No, you're not. One more corner. Alright, chain 3. I've been watching a lot of news about Sinead O'Connor, who I absolutely adored. And even did a 5 o'clock shadow kind of shave. Had almost bald hair. And I was 32 years old. 31 to 32. 3 took a dare from a neighbor and $100 and shaved my head. Strangely, none of us got, you know, no matter who we were, we didn't get whisked off to a mental hospital for going really short with short hair. I don't know why they did that to poor Brittany, but anyways, whole other story. I absolutely love Sinead. Okay, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think she was a troubled soul that nobody really understood very well. And we're going to go into that last double crochet from the previous round 2, which is right here. Some people, and you'll see what I mean when you look at it, some people have said they need to take an extra stitch and go further up into the chain 5, or they just go up to the 1 or the chain 2 of the chain 5. But it really is supposed to be the way the pattern reads, the top of the double crochet. So that would be right here. And it looks kind of strange. But bringing it up one chain space really doesn't help it. I've done it. I've done it over and over again. I think the first squares look strange that way, but when you go to add them on, they make sense. And some people have said, well, no, you got to go one more. And no, you don't. So everybody has their own interpretation of this. What everybody kind of agrees with so far that I know is go ahead and try to get your ends fastened in. That is the entire thing. Go ahead and try to get your ends fastened in. Let me look over here because I can't get the lighting right. I'm kind of getting a shadow everywhere. There. Go ahead and fasten in as you go, because there's a lot to fasten in. And don't make big tails. So what I'll do, I guess, is show you how to connect. 1. So what we're going to do, so I have 6 now, I have to make 1 more. But that's what I mean, like this is about as much as you need as a tail if you want to keep all your yarn, because this pattern really takes a lot of yarn. It really takes a lot. I'm sorry I didn't have the lighting as bright as I should have for the first one. So all you're going to do now is do the first 2 rounds that we just did. So you're going to slip into your first stitch, slip stitch, join, chain 2, tighten that up a little bit. Okay, right in. I am going around my tail a little bit, even though it's short. I'm still going around it a little bit. So we chain 2, do our 2 double crochet together, and we've got a 3 double crochet together, our first one of 7. Okay. Chain 3. And just continue around. If this blinks off, which it might, because my cat just jumped up on my bed, Dustin. He likes to get in the videos. If it blinks off, I will come back for part 2 and show you how to finish this. Chain 3. And I'm wearing the camera on my head, so I'm sorry you see the cord. Try not to move my hands or anything too much while I'm doing this, which is kind of hard to do. But I've got a little Logitech camera on a baseball cap visor on my head. That's how I'm doing it. And I'm hooked up to a little laptop. Okay. I wanted to be able to show you my hands. That just means I have to hold my head very still. Keep my hands in. Kind of got to twist yourself into a little pretzel. I'm already a pretzel. I'm going to do that. All right, so 1, 2, 3. See, it's a yarn eater, this one. It really is. I couldn't believe how fast I went through the first skein. I was like, whoa. And really, it's about the same price. I can't stand when that happens right there. It's about this. Well, no, it's a little bit more economical, and to go with the red heart. And I would say you have to kind of buy your yarn all at once to make sure you have the colors. So it's one you really got to commit to. Because you can't change it up too much with colors. I did see one pattern that a gal did where she started round 1 and 2 in different colors for each few squares that she added, and then ended her connecting round with the same colors so that she could connect without having floaters and things. Got a chain 3 or the yarn showing, which I thought was brilliant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this one's bugging me. It doesn't look right. I'm going to move them all over. Yep, I will keep ripping out until I get it the way I like it. And I'm finding really that's the time consuming part with the Caron 1 Pound, because it is kind of heavy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be a very durable, nice, Victorian, beautiful. Some people have said that's not Irish lace, that's Spanish lace or Greek lace, or I've heard everything, Mexican lace. I don't know. Yarnspirarions made the pattern, not me. But whoever I show this pattern to, they're like, that's not. Yeah. I'm not liking the way this is turning out. Hang on a minute. There. Sorry. I'm going to keep going back till I get it right. And a lot of this really does shake out in the blocking. Washing and blocking. And even just finger blocking, but I'm going to be a knip about it. Okay. It's my little tail. My little bitsy tail left. Okay. So we're at the end of that, and you got 1, 2, 3 right here. Go right into that one there. As we did before, the top chain of the first double crochet. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So now we just slip stitch into that one. Just going to slip stitch on over and slip stitch through that first stitch of the chain, and I'm finding the second chain right there is bringing me to what I consider the middle. Some people are taking an extra stitch right here, like slip stitching. I guess you could, but I'm not feeling a need to. Just to let you know what other people have said with this pattern. Okay, so now you're just going to chain your 5. And I'm going to grab some yarn because I can't stand doing this. Anyways, about Sinead O'Connor. I've listened to every interview she's ever done, and I'm really sad about. I went ahead and purchased Nothing Compares and watched it, which was a documentary done of her life. With her own words and with her family's words and managers and people and friends and her whole life. Just came out in 2022, I believe, just a while ago. Or maybe it was a few months ago. I don't even know. I gotta go look. But a pivotal time for her career, which she speaks about often, was when her manager, who was the same as Prince Rogers Nelson manager, the artist formerly known as Prince, when they had the same manager at the time, and they thought it would be great, the manager thought it would be great if Sinead sang that song. So I don't know how that all happened. She doesn't really go into that other than to say they, same manager. And they talked. Okay, so chain 2, go into your little, did I do my slip stitch? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Slip stitched over. Okay, I don't think I did a single crochet, but it will be fine, I think. I think. Let's hope. I didn't do a single crochet, you guys. I didn't. I'll just call this my rip out one, since that's all I'm doing. If I did it, I don't remember it. No, I just slip stitched on over. And chain 1, go into that same stitch, and single crochet. Boom, now I did it. Chain 5. And just go ahead and keep doing that. So, all the way around, chain 5 and then single crochet into your 3 chain. Anyways, a really sad part of the documentary was that Sinead, a pivotal time in her career, however, she came upon Nothing Compares to You, was that song. Because it catapulted her into #1 stardom overnight. Even though she had already had quite a following of a lot of people, and she had Lion and Cobra out, and everybody knew her, and everybody loved her. There was something about that Nothing Compares to You that just... the whole thing. So, whenever she mentioned Nothing Compares to You, or they showed the video in the documentary Nothing Compares, there was no song. Because the Prince estate, not Prince, but the Prince estate refused to release the song, the rights to the song, for the documentary of her life to be made, which was ridiculous, because trying to get around that time period, which is what she explains, that her mother had died during that time, she didn't think she was going to cry. That one tear she could not withhold, no matter how many takes. Every time she looked out, she thought of her mother. That although it catapulted her into stardom, it also derailed her career and made her something she wasn't for a while. Which she was an activist, she was an advocate, and she fashioned herself a lot more after Bob Dylan and activists. And people didn't know where to put her. Like, are you punk, alternative? What are you? A lot of the Prince fan people said she copied Prince. No, it's the other way around. So I was really sad to see that. No matter what she said happened with Prince or not, and I think it could have happened, I think he may have been chasing her with a pillow with ice in it for however he felt he may have pushed, shoved, or hit her, or whatever made her distraught enough to run away. I believe her story. I always have. I don't think you have to worship a person to they're perfect. They never hit anyone or did anything wrong or got controlling or violent or dominant or nasty. Because Prince did get nasty or dominant and controlling, and he may have hit her. So I believe her that that's what happened, because he wanted to produce her. He gave her a #1 song. She went #1. He wanted her to be a protege, and that's what he liked to do. And she pretty much told him to F off. And he was telling her, you need to stop swearing in interviews, because she was singing his song. And that just wasn't going to fly with her. So they did have a disagreement. It was just sad that what catapulted her into stardom and what also derailed who she really was, she couldn't use in her life story because of the Prince estate. Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to just carry on like we would be going into round 3 to connect. And we're going to do 3 double crochet together. As we've been doing. That chain looks wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, that's what I mean by if you chain 1 extra or 1 less, it looks really weird. You can tell right away. Okay, so for the connecting round, I'm just going to go ahead, chain 5, and do your first 3 double crochet together in this one you're working on. And you're going to grab one of your 7, and you're going to turn this one to the wrong side. So this is the right side, and this is the wrong side. And you're going to have the right side facing you. So it'll be wrong side to wrong side. Get your little crochet hook in there, and then find a corner, any corner, and go ahead and go into the center of the chain 3 of that corner. So I'm going to go right here, put my yarn up, and slip stitch. I'm going to go the other way, get around it this way, get some yarn again. I went the wrong way. Wrong way. What am I doing? I go this way. I'm right back to where I started. That's even weirder. Alright. It doesn't matter. Either way, you're gonna... I just am more comfortable doing it this way. Okay. So slip stitch. any way you feel comfortable slip stitching. I like my yarn behind me. So slip stitch into that center 3 chain, right? And chain 1. Oh, wait a minute. Let me pull that out. Because I've been tearing out everything, so why not keep ripping it out, right? Such a goo. Alright, after you do this, chain 1. Okay. Now come into this one. And slip stitch. And chain 2. So I'm just checking. I am on the right side here. So when I go to lift it up, I'm going to be on the right side and the right side. Because I put together a whole bunch. Wrong, right. I had to take them apart. It's no fun taking them apart. Okay. So now, you're just going to come around and go into the front, your incomplete one, and do another 3 double crochet together. And you've got 1 corner completed. You're going to chain 2 and slip stitch into this chain 5 into the 3rd space, 1, 2, 3 of the chain 5, and chain 2, and then we're going to come into the front of this chain 5 and single crochet, and we're going to chain 2 again. And we're going to come into this chain 5, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, chain 2, and then we're going to come right into the front arch here and do a 3 double crochet together. And chain 1. And then we're going to come into the corner space of our chain 3 and go into the center chain again. I try to get through the two strands, slip stitch, chain 2, and come back into that same space we were working in and do our 3 double crochet together. So I'll look at it. I may not have had to chain 2. I may have only had to chain 1. Sometimes I get that one confused. Nope, it's fine. So it's chain 2. So that is how it looks when you put it together. Okay, and then you're just going to go around. Oop, mine came undone. So I'll do it one more time. You're just going to come around. Okay. And just chain 5. And single crochet in the next chain 5. And then chain 5. And do 3 double crochet together in the next chain 5, space, trying to find a way to create tension here without wrapping my hand. And then chain 3 together without pinning it to me or wrapping my hand. I used to put my foot on part of the yarn as I was going. I got a piece of the yarn. Okay, So now you've got your two corners together here. Okay. Chain 5. And single crochet. But we can see we need one more corner. So we chain 5 again. And our next and final corner goes right into the next chain 5 space with 3 double crochet together. So anyways, I was really feeling sad for Sinead O'Connor's children. They've had a lot of loss. And they lost their brother, chain 3. Like 17 months ago they lost Shane to suicide. And I just don't think a mother can recover from that ever, really, who already is mentally challenged and hard on themselves, which we see with Lisa Marie Presley, what she went through too. So I just think Sinead was very misunderstood and a brilliant artist. At the end, you're just going to chain 5. And then you're going to come into that last double crochet, which is right here, to the top of it. Now, here's again where some people are saying, no, go like 1 or 2 up into the chain 5 space, but actually this is how it's supposed to look. So I'll show you what I mean. You need 2 spaces here, and 2 spaces here, and 2 here. So it does go in that last chain 2, or that last double crochet in the top of it. So the last double crochet of that previous round is what it goes into. I am using my cat claw clippers, which I'm going to sneak up on my cat and get his final paw tonight. So I'm keeping them handy. Okay, let me get the yarn out of the way. So we can see what we have here is, there you go. It's really pretty and fun pattern to do. So yeah, I'm praying for Sinead O'Connor's family. She's got a big family who loved her a lot, and a big circle of a lot of people that really stayed with her and loved on her and made sure she was okay. Managers and personal assistants and family that really hung with her in Ireland and made sure she was okay. And in going to London, she was going to start touring again, recording the whole bit. We have a woman that's turned up dead again, and it's just horrible. Okay, so this blocked out, this is how big the red heart would be. Blacked out, this is how big the, so that's the difference in size. And then you're just going to do 7 panels for the large one, 15. Connect 14 onto your 7. For this one, you would do 6 for the accent one, and connect 14 on to your first one. You're going to do 5 rows for the edge on each side, and then going into the back loop of the half double, sew it together and work your fringe in. And that is it, the Irish accent. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to make one more. I'm really kind of loving these 2 colors together. In fact, I love this color with this color. I'm playing with my colors. I just think those are so pretty together. This just doesn't look like off-white to me. Although that's what it says. Caron 1 pound, 16 ounces. Oh, this one's cream, because I have a bunch I made in cream. But as you can see, I connected the wrong to the right side. So this is what I mean. If you don't line them up right, you can end up with, and then I thought, well, let me make my mistake make sense. So I started making it look that way, like right, right, wrong, wrong kind of thing. And I have to take it apart. This is cream. I love it in cream. So I'm just doing a whole bunch at the same time. But here we go. This one is off-white. 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 Yep, off-white. But it looks top, like a brown, kind of. It's got a sandy tone to it. It's not really off-white. I guess when I think of off-white, and this cream doesn't really look cream. It looks more like a yellow. I guess it looks like cream. Playing with my colors. All right. So that's the pattern. You can get it at Crochet Knitting Now, or Knitting Now Crochet. I get the name of it. Stitch guide. knitandcrochetnow.com. Annie's catalog. It's $7.99 a month, and you just get all these great patterns. But this particular pattern is free everywhere. It should have been free on Knit and Now Crochet too, but it wasn't. And then Yarnspirarions made it. Red Heart. I think Mikey at Crochet Crowd is who actually did the chart, which is so ever so helpful. It really is. I love Mike at Crochet Crowd. And then Team Matty Man also has a wonderful tutorial out there. But he shows the edges and everything, and he got a lot of slack from everyone for doing the whole thing. So a lot of gratitude and then a lot of attitude out there. So I'm just showing how to connect. That's it. A square and how to connect. This is what I mean. Some of them just, if you don't chain enough, did I chain enough? Or you're, yeah, I did 5, but see, I did these looser. When you're chaining, I would say with this pattern, when you're chaining, yeah, try to keep your chain tension really the same, because I can really notice that. It's just me, and I really noticed that. And it's just a matter of my tension was tighter when I was chaining right here. That's not too noticeable, but let's see how the other two look. Not too noticeably different, but I mean, I'm a little bit nitpicky about that on myself. So, and here's the thing, we're actually going into that double crochet, and it's got to be a clean going into it to join, or else it looks funny. It cuts off part of the chain. So I tried a few with going into the chain 5 instead of the double crochet. Go into the double crochet, it looks better. The top of the last double crochet, just chain your 5 at the end and go into the last one. So where we went right here, it looks better. It's more even. But I mean, where you join, it's going to look funky on that one side. But it doesn't matter, because you're going to be working on both sides. So it covers this up. Really pretty. Pretty pattern. Okay, so I thought I'd share it and just say that it made me sad that Sinead O'Connor couldn't share a most pivotal point of her life where she got catapulted and just thrown into instant stardom, which she was not ready for, with Nothing Compares to You. And she wasn't ungrateful for having this song. Never. She was totally grateful. She was ungrateful for the way it kind of made her be seen as a one note kind of person, when she had so much she wanted to do with her art, which was experimental and as an entertainer, which she ended up doing. She ended up doing it all, really. So I just pray her soul's at peace. Okay, so thanks for joining me. That's my pattern share and what I felt like talking about today. And have a nice day, everyone. Bye bye. Happy crocheting.